Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Amy here. Today we're going to be talking about the not so many books that I read in November. Sadly, I only read 8 books. 8 books. It's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I had a rough time in November. I was just in a slump, I guess. I actually just did not feel like reading. Like, it wasn't that I couldn't find what I wanted to read, I just didn't feel like reading. So yeah. That's how November went. But let's go ahead and talk about the 8 books that I did read. I started the month of November on sort of a weird kind of note. I didn't really know what kind of mood I was in, so I just kind of went with what I felt like it, and for some reason I wanted to read Heaven is for Real by Todd Burpo. Todd Burpo is the father of Colton Burpo, who was a little boy when he was, I want to say it was 4 years old, when he went to the other side and saw Jesus and was in heaven and saw his grandparents and others that he shouldn't know about. But it was very interesting. A little boy's a standing story of his trip to heaven and back. So Colton had an appendicitis and he had surgery, like emergency surgery on it. The beginning tells us the whole story of like how it happened and all that went into it and stuff, and it kind of gives us an overview of Colton and what he was like, and an overview of Todd and his wife and just his family in general, just to kind of, you know, get you more familiar with who they were. It's just a very very interesting and heartwarming story. Being a Catholic woman, it sort of gave me faith of in what I believe. I'm not gonna go into anything like that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely. I did listen to this on audio, and the audio was fantastic. Then for whatever reason, I'm not sure, I think I had an idea to do a video on reading my oldest books on my TBR, and this was one of them, and I started the video. Since then have deleted it, but because I just wasn't feeling it, and the content just wasn't good. But anyway, I started the video with Dirty Book Club by Lacey Harrison. I DNF'd it. I'm not sure how far in I got. I think like chapter, I don't even remember. But it was about a young girl as she was struggling just with her life in general. She lost her parents and her sister in like a terrible car accident that she actually decided not to go somewhere with them for some odd reason, and they all end up getting killed in that accident. And so it's just like her struggling to find her place. She's having trouble like in her place of business that she supposedly like went into, that was like her dream job, and now she just doesn't, she's not feeling it. So she moves to, I believe, Los Angeles to be with her current boyfriend. He's over there. He's, I believe he's like a medical graduate, just getting into practicing, and he's looking for a place to practice over there. So she decides she's gonna go with him. So anyway, while she's there, she meets a couple girlfriends. She also meets a couple an older woman and her husband, and this older woman sort of passes on this book club that her and her girlfriend started, you know, way back in the day, and she wants her and her friends to kind of take it over, and that's as far as I got. It sounds really cute. So like, I think the rest of the book was just I think her name was MJ. Yes, MJ and her friends starting this book club, reading these, I think it's like an erotica type book club. I want to say they read 50 Shades of Grey, or that might just be in the movie. I haven't seen the movie. I know there is a Dirty Book Club movie. I don't know for sure if it's based on this book. It might be. it might be based on the book. I'm not sure, but I haven't watched the movie, but I heard the movie was super, super cute. I just couldn't get it into the book. I don't know if it was just because that's not what I was feeling. I don't know. But anyway, I DNF'd it. So then I thought, okay, let me pick up another book that has been on my TBR for forever. It's been in like one of my first hauls on my channel, and it's In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. Kind of also in the same video that I wanted to film, I picked this book as well. So I went ahead and even after I canceled out the video and I'm like, I'm not gonna do this video, I still wanted to read this, and I enjoyed it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. I did listen to this on audio. I've mentioned this before. Imogen Church, she narrates all of Ruth Ware's books. She does a phenomenal job. She has like this haunting voice that just goes with Ruth Ware's story, and I don't know, it just makes the story more haunting, and adds to that thriller aspect of the book. And just a little FYI on Ruth Ware's books, her synopses are always in the back of the book. Just start searching and it's gonna say like introduction or something like that. So no, when I first started reading Ruth Ware, I was like, I don't even know anything about this book. I like the cover. I think that was the first book I read was The Lion Game, and the cover intrigued me, but I could not find a synopsis of anywhere. So after that, I found, like, I think I found it at the end of the book, in that book. So anyway, just a little FYI for you. But anyway, we follow Nora, I think she goes by. Her real name is Leonora. But she goes by Nora currently, but others from her past know her as Lee. Well, she gets a, oh, she's also an author. She gets an invitation to go to someone's hen party, which I'm guessing is very similar to what a bachelorette party would be, except UK style. So she goes to a hen party. Or she's invited to this hen party of a friend from like her high school days, or maybe middle school days. I forget how, like, I want to say they were like 15 or 16 years old. But anyway, she hasn't spoken to this person in years. There was something that happened, some events that happened that kind of tore them apart a little bit, and all of a sudden she's asked to go to this bachelorette party for her. She's getting married, so she ends up going. She gets in contact with another friend from her past that she actually sort of keeps in contact with. They go out for drinks like every now and then, and they agree to go together just in case things don't seem to be going right. They can at least leave as soon as they get there, and as soon as the bride comes over, as soon as the bride shows up to her hen party, they go to like this cabin in the woods I think it's the maid of honor's aunt's cabin or something like that. It's really nice cabin. I think they described it as like a glass house, but anyway, they go there, and when the bride shows up, Nora finds out the real reason she's there. So there's a little twist right there. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So this is Nora sort of remembering, because in the beginning of the book she wakes up at a hospital and she doesn't remember anything. She doesn't know why she's there. She knows who she is, but she's not sure why she's there, how she got there. And she's slowly, as she's slowly getting her memory back, she is telling us the story of what happened as she's telling the police you know, what she can remember as well. So we're getting the story as a flashback for her, or as a remembering from her at current state in the hospital. So I really liked that aspect of the story. So the whole time you're reading the story, the whole time they're in the woods and Nora is remembering everything that has happened, you're trying to figure out what is actually going on. It was just really good. I really enjoyed the whole suspense leading up to what happened there in the woods. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people have said that it's not one of their favorite Ruth Wares. I mean, it's definitely not my favorite Ruth Ware, but it's definitely better than The Woman in Cabin 10. In my opinion, anyway. The Woman in Cabin 10 is my least favorite Ruth Ware. After that, I decided I'm gonna hop back into male romance. So I finished the Primetime series. This is Headlines. This is the book 3 in the series. This is just wrapping up Xander and Sean's story at the end of book 2. Sean's brother and Xander's best friend, they're the same person, finds out that Sean and Xander are dating, and things don't go very well. So in book 3, it's all about them trying to prove their relationship to Brooks, is what they call him. Once again, Brooks is Sean's younger brother and Xander's best friend slash ex-boyfriend. They were best friends before they dated, and then they dated, and then things happened, but they decided to definitely stay friends. And Xander and Sean never really got along. I highly recommend reading book 1 or reading these books in order, because they definitely have cliffhangers, and you will definitely not really understand what's, you know, going on with all these characters, who's who and everything like that. I really enjoyed the series. I really enjoyed the action pack of the first book. The second book wasn't really my favorite, but I enjoyed Xander and Sean. That's the book where they sort of get to know each other. They start of feeling their relationship out. Is this real? Is this what they really want kind of story? And then in book 3, they're trying to prove their relationship to Brooks. So yeah, really great short series. I say short, it's just 3 books. I highly recommend it. I gave it 5 stars. Then I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm feeling a little cozy mystery-ish. I was sort of all over the place in November. So I picked up Cleo Coyle's latest Brood Awakening in the Coffee House Mystery series. Absolutely love this series. What number is this? I don't know, but there are a lot of books in the series. This is number 18 in the Coffee House Mysteries. I absolutely loved this, or love this mystery series. I don't know if she's gonna have any more after this. It doesn't really, I mean, none of them ever really leave you hanging, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more. There has to be. She would let us know, right? But anyway, in this book, Claire Cozy, who is our main character in pretty much the whole series, she owns a coffee house. She is like a master coffee roaster. The coffee house, you'd have to go back to the beginning, but the coffee house was actually her mother-in-law's. She was married to Mateo, and he's like a coffee hunter. He goes all over the world looking for exotic coffees and brings them back, and you know, Claire roasts them and brews them and has them in her coffee house. So her coffee house is very much known for her coffee. The only thing I missed in this book, so this book, Claire loses her memory in the beginning. She wakes up at an unfamiliar place. She has forgotten the last 15 years of her life. So she thinks it's like 15 years ago, and her little girl is still 11 years old. And they're living in like New Jersey. She's not working at the coffee house. She works for like this magazine where she writes articles about recipes, I believe. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the story. I love a good like memory loss kind of thing. Obviously we got a little trend going here. We learn that Claire was visiting with someone that has gone missing. Now Claire has actually been missing for a week. I mean, you learn that in the beginning of the book, and when she just shows up at the coffee house looking for her mother-in-law, everybody's like, oh my gosh, Claire, where have you been? And she like doesn't know any of these people. So that was fun, and along the way of her trying to get her memory back, she, of course, being Claire, she tries to solve the mystery of like what happened to her and what happened to the person that she was with. Why was she with this person in the first place? So yeah, we get, of course, the whole mystery and Claire investigating and everything like that. The only thing I missed in this book was being at at the coffee house. I love being at her coffee house and reading how she's making and roasting and brewing her coffee and all the great treats that she offers at the coffee house. I miss that sort of feel to this. I gave it 5 stars. It just made me happy to be back in Claire's world. So yeah, I can't wait to see what else she has in store for us. One thing I also love about these cozy mysteries, I don't know if they all have this, but I know my two favorite, this one and the Booktown mysteries, they all have the recipes that were mentioned in the book in the back of the book. So I have yet to make anything, but they're there if I ever want to. Then I read one of my book of the month picks. This is Goodnight Beautiful by Amy Malloy. I know I said I was going to do a vlog on one of the books and I had y'all pick one of the books. That book is, of course, the other one, Pretty Little Wife, outnumbered Goodnight Beautiful. But I ended up reading it because it seemed short and sweet. And I picked up the audio and the audio was sounding fantastic. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to this while I work and read along, and I really, really enjoyed it. As you already know, I am doing Vlogmas this month of December. So that's gonna kind of be my vlog for Pretty Little Wife. I'll just keep giving you updates on what's happening in that book. Like I said, I just haven't really been in the reading mood, so doing that vlog just kind of fell short. But I have started it, although I'm very much in the very beginning of the book, only on like chapter 6. But you'll be getting or you're already getting little bits of information about the book in my daily vlog, so I decided to do it that way. But anyway, back to Goodnight Beautiful. I really, really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. Now I am still a little confused about how this book started, and because it is in parts. I don't remember how many parts there are, whether it's 3 parts, maybe it's 4 parts. When I got to part 2, I was like, wait, what happened in the first part? What was I reading? Wait, what? I'm still a little confused at like the transition from part 1 to part 2. If you read it, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Maybe my brain isn't smart enough to pick up on it, but yeah, I mean I was getting it, like the first couple chapters. I was like, okay. So we're going into this book thinking this psychotherapist's wife that was a lot. It's just, a homebody waiting for her husband to get off of work. He works there in the house. He has like his office like downstairs somewhere. And then one day she realizes that she goes into a room that she hasn't been into yet, that she's kind of been putting off, because when they bought the house, it was an older woman that had owned it and she passed away, and all her things were still there in the house. So they moved all those things into this room, and she's never gone into this room till finally she decides she's going to go into that room and do whatever, I'm not sure. But she discovers that she can hear what's happening in her husband's office, and everything changes when this mysterious French woman that drives a green Mini Cooper comes in and sees the doctor. So that's what you're thinking the whole time that you're reading the first part of the book. But is it really what you're reading? What is the real things that are happening in this house? Who is who in this house? I don't know. It had a lot of twists and turns. You were definitely staying on your toes. I will say, give you a little hint of that it does have a little bit of a Misery vibe to it by Stephen King. That's my little tidbit there. So I'm not gonna say anything else about the book or I'll give it away, but it was very interesting. Kept my brain thinking of what the heck was going on here. I was really surprised. I really enjoyed it. And the last 2 books that I read, I started a male-male romance series by Annabeth Albert, and it is the Hot Shot series. This is book 1. This is Burn Zone. I read the first 2 books, so this is the first one. I have a physical copy for the first one, but I don't have one for the second one, so I'll put it up on the screen. But in the first book, we follow Smoke Jumper Link, and we also follow Jacob. Jacob is the brother of Link's former best friend. I say former because we lose this character in a smoke jump. I forget Jacob's brother's name, but we do hear in the beginning how he sort of like threatened Link. He knows Link's gay. Link looks like he's always kind of been very fond of Jacob. Him and Jacob always got along very well. Jacob's always had a crush on Link growing up. So anyway, he sort of threatens Link and is like, stay away from my brother, basically. So Link feels like he has to honor that. So years passed and Jacob becomes a smoke jumper, and there's only like 10 years difference between them, I believe, but he ends up on Link's smoke jumping team. Jacob, you know, is trying to stay away. He still feels the attraction that he's always had to Link. Link is also trying to keep his distance, but you know, things happen. Emotions run free and sometimes you just go for it. But I really enjoyed their story. I really loved the sexual tension between the 2 of them. That's always sexy. But there was always that in the background, Link always thinking like, this can't be, I can't continue this kind of thing. So yeah, the first book is about Link and Jacob just finding their relationship between each other. Link hasn't really come out to a lot of his team, so it's not really an issue, but there's that. I gave it 5 stars. I loved Link and Jacob. And then in the second book is High Heat. I did listen to both these books because they were available on my Hoopla from my library. They're read by Iggy Toma, who does a fantastic job in narrating. That's why I went ahead and I picked up book 2. I'll probably pick up book 3 maybe this month. I don't know. I'll get to book 3 eventually, but in High Heat, I do think you can read these books separately or as standalones because they really don't flow into each other, if you know what I mean. Each book is going to be about a different character. Now in the second book, we are introduced to our character for the second book, and the first book is very minor. But anyway, his name is Garrick. And at the end of book 1, he gets into a very, very scary, serious, almost fatal accident, and it leaves him in a wheelchair and or crutches. They had told him that he would never walk again, but he has conquered that. He can, you know, walk with crutches or with some sort of help, but mainly stuck in a wheelchair. Anyway, this book starts off with Garrick coming across a stray dog that wanders onto his porch. He doesn't want to turn the dog away, but he can't necessarily take care of it by himself. So he knows his neighbor has dogs. She's an elderly woman, so he makes his way next door to see if maybe she can help him, get the dog to a shelter where, you know, someone could help him better than, you know, he can. Sorry, there's gonna be a light right here. The sun's like moving as I'm filming. But anyway, this is where he meets Rain. Rain is the grandson of Garrick's elderly neighbor. So Rain takes it upon himself that he's going to help Garrick with the dog until either they can find it a good home, or maybe Garrick will keep it. Who knows? So of course, Rain is very he's very outgoing. He's very out with who he is. So he's very forward with his flirtation towards Garrick. So so that was fun. Their relationship is just fun. There's like no really drama in it. It was very, very low angst. There, you know, it was just a story of Garrick falling for Rain, but not sure if he should keep pursuing what they're doing because he knows Rain is going to leave. He's only visiting there. Rain does want to become a smoke jumper. He wants to get on a hotshot team. He's only there to maybe start training and spend time with his grandma. So it's very hard for Garrick to commit to his feelings for Rain. And then Rain being younger, he just wants to have fun with Garrick, but he's slowly seeing where he really cares for Garrick, and he wants to see where their relationship can go. So like I said, it was very low angst, hardly any drama kind of thing. I really enjoyed the little teasing and bickering in the beginning with the two characters. That was always fun, and their encounters are very sexy as they kind of explore different things, because as Garrick had like this spinal nerve damage done, there's different things that they explore and do. It was very interesting. I enjoyed it. And that's it. That is the 8 books that I read in November. I'm not sad about it at all. I've had some really good months the past couple months. I've really like been knocking them back, really into it. I guess being it's the holiday season, it's the time of year. I gotta get away from this from this thing over here. It's a time of season where things, I feel like I'm trying to slow things down because it's all going by so fast. We're already in the month of December. 2021 is upon us. Hoping for great things in 2021. It's also for me can be a little bit of a stressful time. Just putting up my tree is stressful. I know I'm not a Scrooge by any means. I do love Christmas. I love everything that comes with Christmas, but it just sort of gets to me every now and then, and I think that's what my problem has been with trying to figure out what I want to read. And then when it all comes down to it, I just want to sit in front of the TV and watch Christmas movies because they make me happy. So that's what I've been doing. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. As always, hope you're all doing well and staying safe out there. Hope you're all having a great start to holiday season so far. I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas. I don't know when this is going to go up in the mix, but I hope you're enjoying it. And I will see y'all, I guess, tomorrow. Bye, y'all.